Hi friends, it's Chrissy from First Day of Home. I'm excited to join another talented group of YouTubers today to bring you Easter crafts using dollar store items. I'll put the playlist in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. Also, if you're new to my channel, welcome and thanks for joining me. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and then ring the bell so you'll get notified every time I post on YouTube. I do a lot of different crafts, DIY projects, and easy recipes, and I'd love for you to join me. Now let's go ahead and talk about what you'll need to get started. I picked up this glass vase at Dollar Tree and I loved the way it looked, but I wanted to add a little shine to it. So I picked up this mirror effect spray by Rust-Oleum, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. My local Dollar Tree didn't have eggs out yet, so I'm going to be using these eggs I picked up at Target last year. I had some of this pastel chalk paint handy, so I'll be using that to paint some of the eggs. When I saw these napkins at Dollar Tree, I knew I also wanted to use them for this Easter craft. Throughout these projects, I'll also be using some regular matte Mod Podge. Finally, I picked up a few stray branches that I'll be using to make an Easter tree. Before spray painting my vase, I washed and dried it and then used painter's tape to tape off the outside and make sure it wouldn't be exposed to the paint. Now when you use this mirror effect spray paint, it says to paint the side that you don't want to show, so I'm going to be painting the inside, and then I'm going to use this mixture of vinegar and water in a little spray bottle to give it more of a mercury glass effect. By the way, I love using this little tool by Rust-Oleum so that I can spray paint and not have my fingertips right on the nozzle, and it also keeps me a little farther away from the spray. You'll want to apply just a very light coat to get started, and then spritz it gently with that mixture of vinegar and water. You can dab the inside, but I found it really hard to do given how tall this vase is, so I didn't really have much success with that, and instead I had to kind of turn the vase to prevent any streak marks. You'll have to experiment with it based on whatever it is you're trying to spray. You'll want to apply up to 5 coats of this spray paint and then the vinegar and water mixture. And I got a little impatient with the mercury glass effect, so I decided to go ahead and try it on the outside of the glass, and it turned out really well also. I'm totally in love with the way this came out. It took a plain clear vase and made it something a little more glamorous and a little fancier. I'm going to be making ornaments for an Easter tree, so I wanted to take my wooden larger ornaments and chalk paint them white so that I can apply those pretty napkins that I found at Dollar Tree. I'll go ahead and just apply 1 coat to each of these eggs just so that it doesn't show the wood underneath. I'll go ahead and do the same with the mini egg ornaments and use just the 3 different color pastel chalk paints that I have. Now these did take 2 coats to really cover the white underneath, so you'll want to make sure you budget in some time for drying in between. By the way, here's a little tip on drying those little egg ornaments. I just put them on a hanger and hung them on my cabinets in the kitchen and in the laundry room. Next, I'm going to take those pretty napkins that I found and I'm going to separate the plies so that I just have 1 layer with the printed pattern on it. Then I'll measure the napkin against the egg to know where I need to trim it so that it fits really snugly and smoothly against the egg form. Once the napkin's cut, we're ready to apply some Mod Podge and make our decoupage egg. You may have to trim some of the edges so that the tissue lies flat against the egg, and you'll kind of get a feel for this once you start using the Mod Podge. I also like to have a piece of plastic wrap handy whenever I'm using very thin materials like tissue paper or napkins, because it will prevent your fingertips from sticking to the item, so I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. After I applied some Mod Podge to the egg, I went ahead and gently placed my napkin on top and started smoothing it out. I then worked in sections to apply a little bit of the napkin at a time, and this just prevents the napkin from bulking up and starting to stick together. Once I had most of the napkin applied, this is where I used my plastic wrap to really push down the napkin and smooth out some of the edges. At this point, my fingertips were getting a little sticky, so that's when you know it's time to bring in the plastic wrap. Once I finished with the first egg, I went ahead and hung it to dry about 15 to 20 minutes before applying a top coat. For the second egg, I decided to work in smaller sections, and I wanted to show you one other technique that I used. You can wet a little paintbrush with water and use it to kind of get finer edges around your pattern. So here I'm trying to dampen the napkin so that I can just pull away those pieces and it gives more of a feathered look. When you work in smaller sections like that, the design looks really smooth against the egg. For the smaller eggs, I decided I wanted more of a rustic look, so I took off the gold ribbon that they came with, and I decided to replace them with little pieces of twine. To give them even more character, I mixed up a little brown and black paint and decided to make them little speckled eggs. I used a strong bristle brush to do this, and it's a little bit challenging, so I'd experiment with it. In the end, I also ended up just dabbing it with a bristle brush, and that worked just fine too. After the larger eggs were dry, I applied my second coat of Mod Podge, and this just helps to seal the napkin onto the egg and prevent it from flaking off later. I think these eggs are so sweet. The napkins look like little pressed flowers against the egg. And my little speckled eggs add just a bit of farmhouse touch. I decided my Easter tree needed a little bunny to go with it, so I'll be using this chalk paint again to paint the outside of a mason jar. At first I thought I would paint the inside, but I might want to put candies in here later or some other treats, so I decided to paint the outside instead, which will really give it a nice chalky feel. I find it easiest to flip the jar over once I've painted one side so that I can get the rest of the side and the bottom as well, and then I can just let it dry that way. I did end up doing 2 coats of this chalk paint just to make sure that the glass was fully covered. For the lid, I decided to trace a little circle of scrapbook paper just to give it a little extra decoration. I then got my Mod Podge out again and attached that circle to the top of the lid. After I had it secured in place, I then applied one quick top coat just to seal it for good measure. I also decided to paint the rim so that it would all blend in and look like one solid bunny. Next, I wanted to make some ears for my bunny rabbit, and I had these hearts left over from my recent Valentine's Day garland. So I decided they actually made the perfect shape for a bunny ear if I just trimmed them down a bit. So I decided to use this felt that I had on hand instead of buying some new felt in the color white. And I actually do like the gray against the white. I think it gives a little more contrast and a little more character. Let me know in the comments what you think. For the bunny's nose, I had this little pink button that I painted just a bit so that it would match the scrapbook paper a little bit better. Then I sealed the top of the mason jar lid and got to work on adding my bunny ears. I decided to screw on the lid first so that I'd know exactly where I wanted to place my button nose and know the front side from the back side of the mason jar. I think these ears are going to look so cute on the top of this jar, and I think it would make a great gift for kids, for teachers. You could imagine making bunnies with different color felt ears and different tails, so we're going to get to the tail in a minute, but it's going to look super cute with little tail and a nose and some whiskers in a minute. Oh my gosh, I really love these felt ears, and I really am into felt this year. The other thing I'm really into is pom-poms. So I bought this pom-pom maker set that I highlighted in my Valentine's Day garland video, which I'll link up here. But I won't go through the whole process for making a pom-pom since I shared it in that video. I'll just say that it's my latest obsession, and I plan to do a lot more pom-poms in the future. To attach the tail, I simply used a little dab of hot glue and stuck it directly on the mason jar, and it should stick pretty well. I just think this gives this little guy so much character and personality, and then when you attach the little button nose, I think he looks even cuter. I also decided to add some of that jute twine around the rim of the mason jar, so I just wrapped it around a couple of times and made a little bow. And then I decided he needed one more thing. I thought that the little rabbit should have feet, so I took that last extra piece of felt that I had and I just shaped it to form two little feet underneath that I hot glued on. The final step was just to add some whiskers. So I took this wire that we had hanging around the house and I wrapped it around a pencil a few times. I did this 6 times to make 6 little whiskers, 3 on each side, and just used some wire cutters to trim each one. And then I just applied it with hot glue, and I think this really brought this little bunny to life. I can't wait to fill this with candy and give it away as gifts. I could add a little gift tag around the rim of the mason jar and give it to teachers and friends. I think it's really going to be cute for the season. I hope you enjoy making some of these Easter crafts and check out some of the other collaborators on this playlist, which I'll link to below. As always, if you like this video, I appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. And don't forget, I have lots more tutorials like this on my website at firstdayofhome.com. I'll see you next time. Happy Easter.